Oh hey internet, what's up? Welcome back. It's Type QQ and a new game on the channel. I'm sure you guys could have guessed, or rather were clued with enough that this game was probably going to make its way um, eventually. And with wrapping up DFO, as fun as that was, we did 10 episodes, which I think was kind of cool. But just really didn't get the grounds or the sticking power as I would have hoped. Here we are with a AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake, the most outlawed game of them all. With Samus Returns on the DS, excuse me, 3DS now. This was kind of a precursor to this, however, on outlaw space on the internet, on pirate radio, right? So it was rather kind of hard to find this game at first, at least from a trusting site with a trusting link. I'm kind of joining the sort of another Metroid 2 remake party very late on the scene, very much past the cease and desist from Nintendo. All the same, I've played a lot of the Metroid games, from Metroid Zero Missions and Fusion on the Game Boy to the original on the NES to the Primes. However, Metroid 2, which I believe was originally on the Game Boy, was something that really eluded me. So I never even actually played this remake a whole lot. So when it comes to this game in particular, we are going with just pretty much our previous Metroid knowledge. Haven't really had a whole lot of experience with this game or the original. But that doesn't mean we're not going to have a ton of fun. This is me just mucking around with the controls right now. Just kind of getting used to how everything's mapped across the controller. But overall, I mean, from just first glance, the game looks really nice. Sounds really nice. Looks like it uses a lot of familiar musics. And of course, for those who are completely new to the series, top left is our health, our missiles, which are kind of like single-use super shots. And then we have like sort of a counter for Metroids that we have to hunt and kill, as well as like our map. And that's essentially our whole screen. And really, this episode's really just the sort of the painful throes of childbirth. Really, just trying to figure everything for the first time when it comes to this particular volume in the series. But because this game doesn't necessarily have runs like other games we generally cover here. We're just going to try to do like half-hour chunks, if not maybe a little longer. We'll see how it goes. Save points permitting. So there's a ton of lore in these type of games, that I'll explain. Samus's involvement in this sort of world, why she's crashed here, what she's looking for. I don't know, maybe I might read it, I might not. It really depends. I did a ton of reading with the DFO stuff, which is normally not my cup of tea, and I think, I don't know, maybe I burnt myself out on it. But we shall see all the same. And coming across our first sort of locked door that's kind of color coordinated to tell us what type of weapon it takes to sort of unlock or destroy the outer shell on. So, just as easy as that, we blow it open with our missile and continue on. Oh, here we are learning that lava hurts the flesh. It looks like a sort of carcass of a Metroid of some sort, with this sort of new Metroid organism kind of arising from it. And of course, we have to kind of shoot its underbelly. What looks like to be a missile, as the regular bullets are kind of bouncing off of him. And then kind of figuring out the patterns here now. Not a moment too late before we damn near freaking die on the very first enemy, pretty much. But there we go. So now our Metroid counter is down to 0. Kind of causing some sort of earthquake of some variety. Massive cave systems is located between two tectonic plates, largely flooded by an extremely dense and caustic substance familiar to magma. The recent earthquakes has altered the cave layout, and the hazardous substance has drained to lower levels. The cause of the earthquake is unknown. Initial orbit scan of SR-388 detect no instability within this region. I mean, certainly after we killed that sort of Metroid-like creature, I mean, it happened, so I think we'll find that's going to be kind of common as we continue on to kill more baddies. Yeah, we can tell already the magma was drained here. Although it didn't necessarily immediately open up any new worlds or anything. It did lead me to believe, like, maybe other parts of this opening area kind of opened up or something like that, so I guess it'd be a safe call to kind of tour around to make sure we didn't kind of leave anything in the early stages of the game as well. And actually, I'm not sure if this opened up or just opened up now, or if we went the other direction, but this whole area is all opened up, so I'm guessing from the earthquake. It'd be hard to believe that we kind of missed this the first way down, but it's quite possible. And it looks like it goes on further, but I think it's safe to just kind of retrace our steps and check to see if there's anything in the further up, just to make sure. As stupid as it sounds. Like, I'm not all too sure there's anything like particularly hidden or important that they're going to hide in like the opening area of the game, but you know, you can never really be too sure. And it should only take a minute. Nah, it doesn't look like there's anything, at least from first glance. And then, yeah, checking your map, yeah. There doesn't seem to be anything too important. But, you know, doesn't mean that there isn't anything there, it's just nothing that we can kind of see at first glance. And like a silly worry war, we're gonna just kind of make sure we didn't forget anything back here. But see, that's kind of the problem I have with, well, I wouldn't say I have a problem with, but that's my problem when I'm playing like Metroid games or Castlevania games and all the like, is that it takes me so long to kind of like progress into venture into new like areas of the game. Even when we're talking about like the first goddamn screen, you know, it's I feel like I'm missing something, you know, like, oh, I forgot something. There's that wall I shoot a missile at, you know. Certainly that's a health tank or an energy tank. Like, come on, I didn't explore down in this lava area. There's got to be something down there. Like, but you know, of course there's not. Maybe the map's lying to me. Maybe there is something down there. I am terrible at that. I mean, I think that's why I enjoy playing these games, but they might not necessarily produce the best Let's Plays ever, as I'm like constantly doubting myself and constantly kind of checking back at the old areas just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Not that I aim to kind of 100 complete the game. I think when I complete the game and if it comes out like 70%, 65%, I'm perfectly happy, you know. And I don't necessarily go through the game a second time to complete everything. It's just I don't want to fall back or fall behind when it comes to like power, you know, or missiles or what have you. When you come across like a decently challenging boss and find out I'm kind of fighting him 20 or 30 missiles down, you know. Excuse me. You know, that sort of feeling of being underpowered. And especially how some of the background graphics and foreground graphics look like there's a lot of stuff that's destructible when it's really not, but back with some more lava apparently. Guess this is where the lava's dripped down to. And I suppose this is kind of a cool mechanic that kind of gates off your progress, you know? You know, the lava's always kind of dripping down to the lower levels that you haven't unlocked yet, so it's a sort of good sort of wall of death keeping you where you need to be. Apparently that these enemies can dive in it just fine. It looks like our Metroid counter was just updated again with 4 more Metroids to hunt and kill. And I think we're going to find them kind of by those like yellow carcasses. That's kind of a sort of tip that, you know, Metroid's nearby. Or this sort of evolved, mutated Metroid thing. You know, it's kind of taken over a new host. Or what have you. Something's going on. They're certainly not the same old jellyfish Metroids that we've kind of become accustomed to. Another save point. Always handy. And that also, I believe, fills up my health and my missiles as well. So there we are. We got a looks like a burst Metroid sack of some sort. So I would guess beyond these walls is is the one we're hunting for, but it looks like we're gonna need the ball bombs first. Maybe playing its hand to let us know what item we're gonna get next. But that's okay. And deceptively enough, you're like, these enemies are very easy to kill, and just kind of walking into me. I'm wondering, like, is there a boss coming right around the corner? All these enemies are just kind of filling me up. This temple stands at the base of a hollow mountain. The statues carved stone in its solid design attest to the structure was built to be a sanctuary, possibly with religious significance. The temple has withstood the test of time, showing the building knowledge and experience of the Chozo. Scans detect the presence of stationary robotic entities placed at strategic points inside the structure. No control signals are detected. These units are operating automatically. Jesus Christ. Easy for me to say. And on to another quote-unquote world, I guess. I wouldn't necessarily say world, but maybe another section of this area, as the level design has changed again. Taking advantage of the sort of diagonal controls. There it is. Our bombs. As well as something down there. Missile tank. And of course, anyone who's ever played a Metroid game before knows that not only can you damage things with your bombs, but you can also propel yourself. A little bit with the bombs as well. But, you can use them in a quick succession to get a bigger boost. Alright, certainly that area down there, we need our bombs, but I think we're going to go back and check out some of the earlier areas that need the bombs as well. Because, that's our thing. We can't certainly go forward in the game without checking out all the stuff where we've been with our new item. Sort of backtracking the game. But weirdly enough, there wasn't actually a boss after that room like I suspected. Really no need to use it, except for we kind of spawned there now. Alright, most certainly there's something nearby. This area spans a custom-built ecosystem that favors the growth of Metroids. The terrain itself is dangerous. Tendrils growing along the ground release extremely corrosive chemicals. Opportunistic predators and scavengers can recognize this as an ideal feeding ground, taking advantage of injured or dead animals. The presence of at least one Metroid is expected when venturing in these habitats. The tendrils are determined to be of artificial origin, synthesized through technologically advanced methods. Okay. Fake vines of death, huh? There he is. Yeah, we are not facing him in the most suitable conditions. Ah, pretty stupid. I mean, of course, now we have the vines underneath him. Underneath those sort of platforms that we have to stay out of. But at least now we should be ready. Or at least I would hope so. We were even awarded one cheap shot. Ah, shit, here we go again. Somehow we survive, I have no idea. I mean, there doesn't seem to be anything hidden here as well, but... But at least that piece of shit's dead, right? It looks like there's more to fight down here. Which I think we'll certainly do, but I think we're going to save this damn game first. As much of it is a big baby tactic to do, I think it's probably the safer method, just so we don't have to fight that other Metroid again. Get a nice heal, save our game. At least until we get some like health tanks, you know, and have a bit more sticking power than just, you know, one cycle of health, which we're finding out is can be even treacherous when you even talk about these vines. All right, we know this. Jesus Christ! So we know another motherfucker's around here somewhere. There he is. We thought we were Slider in that corner. Kind of in this sort of taking full advantage of that sort of narrow opening and how the Metroid had to kind of travel underneath, using our environment as an advantage, I suppose. Jesus, that's quick. With our last missile, too. That could have been pretty ugly. So we've taken out 3 of the 4. Not so shabby, I suppose. So opens it up to a few different options to where to go on the map. And this one over here did seem like it was the probably the next thing that we probably should tackle. No, we already did that. I don't think we have to worry about that anymore. I think it's just this door here on the right. Our first E-Tank. That's going to be very helpful. Yeah, doubles our health, adds another sort of, that blue block up there, adds another whole 99 points of health, which certainly, certainly removes the worry and danger of the vines and everything else, really. Now that we can have the sticking power of twice as much hit points. We done found it. So the last of the 4 Metroids is somewhere nearby. Down this pit, possibly. And there we have found the spider ball. Not a Metroid, but maybe something just as good. And this allows us to kind of, use our morph ball to actually climb up surfaces. Pretty handy, I would say. If for no other reason to escape this bottomless pit. Alright guys, that's going to be it for part 1. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a like, leave a comment, do all that stuff. I'll come back and play some more Metroid in the future.